Welcome to All About the Gers. Brought to you by our sponsors. The JR Group. Plugged In Business Solutions. DB Dental Care. Reflex Blue. The Right Software. Dev Provider. And Avia Signs. Our chosen charity partner is the Second Chance Project. We are now official agents for the Rangers Lotto. Find out more at www.allaboutthegers.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to All About the Gers podcast. It's myself, Ricki Neill, joined with Charlie and Derek. I just want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors, and also we've got a brand new sponsor, Avia Signs, so thank you for coming on board. How are you doing, guys?
Good. What are you, Ricky?
Well, that jar of sweeties was full, wasn't it? Until he get his hands on them. I've never saw a guy eat so many sweeties.
And I want it.
And get so many in.
Didn't even wash his hands after coming out of the toilet as well.
By the way, did you wash your hands?
I always wash my hands, but do you know, I get caught out because I
Did you?
thought one of them was a bonbon. And it's no, it's just a wee crunchy thing, but I'll get into trouble if my work see that I've actually got them in here because they're no my sweeties. Anyway, how you doing anyway?
I'm liking the top.
Aye, my wee David Cooper top.
That's a cracker.
Aye.
So it is.
I'll make you one next week.
What do you mean make me? What is it? Like you get a recipe, you just make?
I know, I designed them and then I print them and all that. So
no, I think that in the kind of navy blue would be pretty smart.
Aye.
What size did you say, Charlie? That's
triple XL.
That's an
XL.
It's an XL slim fit.
Aye.
Anyway,
what's the name of your dog, innit?
I have the name of my dog as well. Aye. So
there you go. Easy man.
Anyway, what have you been up to anyway?
No, just a couple of days. No, what did I do? It was pretty quiet. I didn't work on. I wasn't at a game or anything. So just sat and watched a wee bit of the football. Aye. Kind of try to behave myself on a Sunday, but I kept hearing something in my head. I kept hearing Charlie say, "Nah, just go for it, Fergie. Just go for it, Fergie."
Go for it.
Aye, because it is a Sunday. You said that to me last week.
Right.
Because a Sunday, I think a Sunday's a nice wee day, innit? Just to chill and have a few.
We started back football with the kids, or the teams started back last week. Been a long summer, getting back to normality. So good.
I was speaking to a guy, but I was down in Shettleston watching a game of football Saturday morning. And the guy, oh God, it's terrible, I forgot his name, but his boys go to your academy and he was speaking so highly. Yeah, so he was, his name, it'll come back to me. So it was, he's got
Don't phone me at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, I'll certainly not do that. No, but it was, honestly, Charlie, it was just, he just, like me, he was just taking in a game, like an amateur game, Saturday morning. And then he was just saying his boys, go, I think, was it, one of them's 5, one of them's 7, but no, he was raving about your academy, which is brilliant.
That's good to hear. Anyway, listen, we're live on YouTube, Facebook and all other social medias, so make sure and follow us on YouTube and hit that wee notification button so that you find out when we're on. Probably going to be on every Tuesday, but unless there's a Rangers game on Tuesday, then we'll pop it on a Wednesday, but make sure you tune in. All right, guys? Right, well, I suppose we better talk about the football. Rangers and St Johnstone at the weekend. There was only 23,000 at the game. More pressure on the board. Charlie, I see you were getting a bit slated in the Daily Record as well. No slated, but you're saying what everybody thinks.
Slated, I think I was just saying what everybody thinks, and it's been so disappointing. I don't like to ever go at the club, but it's the fans that always have to end up bailing them out all the time, and they've been treated poorly. I just feel we all want them to win, we all want them to do well, and it's just so frustrating with this transfer, this budget. I've not said anything about Clement because I still believe he's the right man for the job. I think he'll do well, but we need to back him. But obviously the situation seems to be there's no money, as everybody can see. But money's disappeared for fun. I don't know where it's all went in the last few years. And I think we get 5 million for Kamara last season as well. Not really put anything back in. It looks as if we had to sell all the time to kind of bring players in.
I know, but the amount of money that Michael Beale wasted in players as well, Derek.
And not just we're talking in terms of fees. It's the contracts that were put on, the level of wages. I think that's how we're finding it so hard to get. I know it sounds like to get rid of them, but these guys are not going to walk away for good contracts unless they get better somewhere else. So so there's a wee bit of that. I think, but Charlie, his article they put in, I think there's got to be better leadership for the board. That's certain, and the recruitment as well. You know, it's not been great over the last number of years, and then we've allowed players to run down their contracts, which is absolutely crazy.
Shambolic.
Innit? So in that respect, they have not been doing their job, and this is why we're in this position when we're struggling financially, and that's how the game against Kyiv last week was massive for us. So it was, you know, because we need the 5 million.
Yeah. See when things like that are going on in the background in the club, does that affect the players? Do the players even take any notice of any of that kind of stuff?
I don't even know if some of the players really bother, because they're no Glasgow boys, and I don't mean that. Of course they bother. They don't like getting beaten, things like that, I would imagine. I would hope so. But they're on all good wages, and they can just, some of them can just chuck it in, can't they? So, unfortunately, but
which is if somebody has.
you have to want to win and play and go there. But the Hampden factor's disappointing as well. That's absolutely caught me, but we can't beat Ibrox. See, and the biggest thing that annoys me is we're spending money on the stadium. Oh, I get that, it's okay, right? I understand that, but we need a winning team first. See, if we had a winning team, we bought better players, we could have probably qualified for this next stage of the Champions League. We bought in Hamza and Gami and understand these for the future. But we need somebody now. We need a successful team on the pitch to win games, to get the fans inside. We could have maybe done Edwards Club next year, or we could have maybe fixed the stadium next year when we were back winning the league. But if your manager's not got a transfer kitty, what is he actually meant to do? This is annoying me. It really is just disappointing.
No, he's right, because listen, if it's right on the pitch, everything else off of that will be okay, because in terms of the financial aspect will be fine. There's been a hell of a lot of money spent on the museum, on the stadium. The stadium shouldn't have went ahead anyway. If you've not got the steel or the bits and bobs that you need, you shouldn't even been started. That should have been put in the back burner and left to next year. And Gami, Charlie's talking about, he's a project, we get that, but there's got to be that kind of turnaround. But it's about the here and the now. And can we afford to spend, I don't know, is it $1.5 million, 2 million on a guy? We've been playing with one centre forward. I know Danilo will come back at the weekend, it was great to see. But for us, Rangers Football Club, one centre forward, one number 10, I think it's really poor, and that's not the fault of the manager. I don't know. I think that's what it comes with. It comes for the men above. They've got to be doing their jobs better. But for me, it's about getting it right on the pitch.
Aye. Charlie, why do you think he started Danilo before Dessers?
I think he's just trying to get minutes into him.
Aye.
I think so, and then he has to he's protecting everybody else, and Dessers is we're only kind of fit number 9 because Danilo's no, and it must just have been to give him a wee bit of rest as well, because he's no starting Sterling and Cherny when we should have. So he maybe just thought, I'll give him a wee rest because he started practically every game. I think he played nearly every minute, every game.
Did you think it was planned just 45 minutes?
It might have been.
But do you want to know something? We spoke about it last week, about the kind of sports science behind it. The medical people, I think they've said he can play. That's all you're probably going to get out of him, is the 45 minutes. So that's why he only played that. I think even last week, Big Mar was brilliant in terms of
Really good.
He kind of let us into one or two secrets in terms of Sterling. You know, saying is that, you know, he struggles to play 2-3 games a week. He's maybe just no robust enough. I know he looks a physical specimen, and he is when you see him on the park. But I thought that was quite a telling factor. So then that comes down to the sports science. They seem to be dictating quite a lot in the medical people behind the scenes.
Did the players have a say in that? But
Of course, the players have got to have a say. You've got to want to play. I don't understand it. It's different if you're coming back for a long-term injury like Danilo. That's a bit different because it's a long-term one. Maybe Sterling's been 3 or 4 weeks here and there, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. But he's a young boy. He should be able to play 3 games a week. And he is a physical boy and he's strong. And, you know, I feel we need him in the team. I really do. I think, obviously, Diamandi and Barrett, ankle would you call it, Sterling and Barron in the centre and push Diamandi on. I think that's what they're going to maybe have to try and do, because we need to get some shape in their team. I think we've just been all over the place at sometimes, especially this when we get the man centre half against Kiev, because we won out the game.
Right.
And we're just going running mental all the place. But as I say, we have to stick by the manager. We can't keep on sacking. And just hopefully we can get 3 or 4 bodies in before the window shuts, because we need 3 or 4 that are going to come in and start.
You get back to that question you asked, Charlie. I'm just thinking about it there. You see, do the players, does it affect them? Do you want to know who it probably affects? It probably affects the people surrounding the players, whether that's friends, family. They'll be posing questions to them. They'll be asking the questions. So sometimes the boys don't need to be on social media or whatever it is, but where they'll probably get it is generally for the family and pals and friends that surround them.
Aye.
That's got to.
Aye, they worry about
Because
it.
they want to know. And yes, and that's the other thing. They worry about it.
See if we sign Shankland. I know, obviously, Clement doesn't fancy Shankland, or else it would have been a done deal, surely. But if we signed him in January, we would have been in the Champions League, because we'd have won the league. I'm sure we would have won the league with him playing up front. Desslers are at times at home playing 2 up front. I'm sure we would have won the league, and would have been straight in the Champions League, and then the money would have been there.
Aye, well, I can't even say his name online, but he's saying we should have bought Shankland in January. We would have won the league plus straight into the Champions League. It's been a catastrophe.
It has been. It's just
Missed opportunity.
terrible.
One up.
Especially when we've said that already, but when Clement came in October, November, whenever it was, we just thought, right, okay, let's win a cup, let's get close to them as we can, and then we actually take care of them, and Brendan Rodgers was talking as if he's made his team world beaters. They'd won the league 2 years before with a guy who probably is a better manager and played probably better football.
Aye, Charlie, I'm in a group chat with quite a lot of the ex-players as well, and that was the debate about Shankland, and there was some of the guys actually saying that 3 million, 4 million, they weren't too sure because of the age he was. But then look what you were getting. You were getting not just a proven goal scorer, not just a really good football player, the captain of Hearts as well, and plus you would have got another 4 or 5 years, because it's different in this day and age, because they look after themselves. And then you look at Shankland again, what we talk about, we've had a problem over the course of the last number of years that we get players in that seem to pick up injuries. He doesn't. He's not one of these injury-prone players. He plays games, Shankland.
But see, when you think about it,
plenty of them.
We're paying, is it Matondo, £34,000 a week? I just don't think he's a...
Is it?
I think he was the second highest paid player last season.
That bamboozles me. Absolutely bamboozles me.
It's a few bob, that, isn't it, for a kind of bit part player. And I think that's the whole problem. That's the issue that the managers got, because it's so hard to shift these guys. And then if teams want them, they've got to be playing. And again, we're talking about Matondo, who I believe has got a kind of a wee issue with his knee as well. So maybe that plays a factor in him not playing as many games. I mean, sometimes he comes on and he does really well for us, but when you're paying, I mean, that is top dollar for up in Scotland.
I'm being sarcastic here, but we have to applaud the guys who have been signing our players the last few years. Suter I like, by the way, but you said Dunnish Cruciate. Lawrence has been injured for fun. Matondo, Danilo, that's just 4 off the top of my head. Hadji, Dunnish Cruciate, did okay, did quite good for us before his injury.
He's back and playing well.
Davies has been out, injured lots of times. Ridvan.
I know. These guys, man. Do you know there? He's just rhymed off so many players there, and that's what, when you're looking at signing a player, you don't just look at the player on the part. You look at everything, how many games he's played, how many minutes he does play, also the character of the player, what's he like in the dressing room. So you take all the factors in, and we just seem to, over the course of the last number of years, been signing players that are just no robust enough.
Raskin and Cantwell have missed like a few months at a time as well.
And what he's talking about, what Charlie's talking about, Charlie, is it's muscle injuries. We're not talking about contact. Listen, football's a contact sport, so you'll get hit, you'll get bumps and bruises. But look, these are muscle injuries, which so you look into it. Stop naming them all. They
must just go into the training ground and just start launching balls, hitting balls into goals and not warming up.
Do you want to know? See, when Souness came at the start, we were picking up a lot of kind of muscle injuries in training, wee niggles and strains. You still play with them. A lot of the players were playing with wee niggles and strains, but we were because the gaffer wanted us just to play with mouldies at training, and we were going out to Albion, and Albion wasn't the greatest surface in the world. It was a quagmire, you know. Right. So a lot of the players were slipping and sliding, but so we weren't allowed to wear our studs. Well, could you imagine Souness in training with studs on, man? He'd be
sharp.
Well, he did. We knew that, but that changed a wee bit.
But we trained in cricket pitches as well, and they were bowling greens.
They were training in bowling greens or not?
They were great, the cricket pitches, but the grass was short grass on kind of.
Did you have a few issues with it?
Well, that's when Lorenzo snapped his Achilles up there, just doing a rondo.
Right.
But with a few, just wee niggles. But you always played with a niggle anyway.
But what we're saying is that was back in the day. This is the here and now, and I mean they're on great surfaces. That's all sorted now.
There's no excuse, son.
No, we used to go everywhere. We used to be at Partick training ground, the San Siro up next to the beats, and that's what we called it. It was horrific, the San Siro. Jordan Hill.
Aye. That's luxury compared to the Albion car park.
The Albion's grass was a good pitch though.
We were on every day. And then we had to go into the Ash. Let's go into the Ash and do a few.
Trains in the tunnel as well. The tunnel.
Aye, that's right. There you go. So we used to do warm-ups and we're sprinting in the Ash in the tunnel.
Oh, I remember training.
Good.
With big heavy training gear on that was the older guys had worn during the day, I think.
And the heyday football was on concrete. That's what used to take. Everybody used to take that man on. David Cooper could never beat him. So there you hang back. We were playing in concrete. Pair of training shoes. A bit mad.
Maybe we should go back to that.
Maybe we should.
I mean, but Walter. We used to play. He did tennis in the changing room.
I loved that. We used to.
And Walter used to because the changing room's so big, and the net used to go across the middle of it, and your gear used to be in the shower. You're like, what's happening here? Walter's like, beat it. All right, and gaffer.
I'm just going to go online because we're getting quite a lot of comments coming in. Paul Oracle, Sima could be going to a team in France on loan. Why don't we go for him then? I was reading earlier on, and it does sound like he's going there, but he wants to come to Rangers.
But we've not got the money. We've just spoke about it there. You know, until we get players out the door, there is no chance that we can get Sima because there's got to, again on loan. I think Brighton. I think they just want a fee for him. They're obviously their manager in there. Tell you what, they're going in the right direction. But I think for Sima as well, be better. I think he needs to go and find himself a club. Of course, we would love him. I think he would like that. But there's not got to be a cut-off point at some stage. I don't see him. It's again just down to the financial aspect here.
Charlie, there's Gray Jr. saying, what's your thoughts on the possibility of selling Butland and bringing in 2 or 3 players with the money made?
It sounds good. But I really want Jack Butland to be our goalie.
You were wanting maybe number 11 last week,
I think so. I really want him to be our goalie, and I understand where he's coming from. But 15 million for him or whatever. But if he was playing with Celtic, they'd probably get 50 million for him right enough. But they seem to be able to sell better than us, which is strange. There's sort of be 18-year-old for 400 grand a day as well in Sky Sports.
Right.
18-year-old boy, Millwall.
Right.
They sold that guy the other week for 4 million, but anyway, forget him. But Butland, I really want him to stay. I would just wish somebody, one big rich Rangers fan, would, if I win Euros on it, I'll give him 20 million.
By the way, see that with Butland, Charlie, see if we go. If you took me back to last season, I'd have went, no, we're keeping Butland. Yeah. See if we could get 15 million and spend it somewhere else. Because Kelly's
a good goalie.
Decent, aye. Honestly, I would go for that now. I can't believe I'm saying it. There you go.
Remember when I was down in Blackpool and I was talking to Michael Johnson? He was actually saying that any Rangers team that he's watched in the past shouldn't be worrying about the goalkeeper because he shouldn't even get that far. I mean,
Aye, but I think it's because even how highly the manager rates him, he talks about him being a leader as well in that dressing
He
room.
likes him, doesn't he? So
But,
he's no wanting Maguire. Michael Johnson, the runner.
Yeah.
The runner. Michael Johnson, the runner.
no. one of the gallant
Seen the
pioneers.
gallant pioneer.
Anyway, let's talk
He was there
about
for the
You were
Olympics.
calling him Billy.
He was there for the Olympics. So he was
Right.
Michael Johnson.
Dessler's goal at the weekend again.
Aye.
Good goal, but the VAR decision, Derek, it's just spoiling the game again. It was 8 minutes injury time or stoppage time after that.
Well, you know where I sit on VAR.
But how can they not make a decision quickly?
Well, it's the referee. The referee, right? It's a goal because it's clearly not. It's
If anything, it's a penalty. I
aye.
thought.
So Dessers ain't fouled him, and the St Johnson boys, they've not stopped. They have not. They've carried on. So there was talk about there was a whistle went. So I think it's because maybe the referee signals, but they're all saying play to the whistle, innit? So listen, they're clearly not happy, and it wasn't the greatest for the referee. But they went out and checked it. Aye, did it take enough time? My God, I think I had about 2 cans of Foster's by the time they made that decision. But that's how I hate VAR, because of the time it takes. I just think in real time, just call it. And it was a goal, but
It wouldn't have got a goal.
I know, but I still don't. I don't like
It
VAR.
shouldn't
but-
take you 6 minutes to bloody look
Nah.
at it though.
Aye, but
The fact that we can see it within 30 seconds.
Because we see it because we want Rangers to get a goal. But it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a free kick, I mean. So
That's what I'm saying. He
just get
actually,
it quicker.
their player actually stamps and Dessers.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
But it was great that he come on.
Well, it's like one Dessers got done against Celtic last season.
Aye.
First game of the season.
That's right, aye. But no, and by the way, and fair play to him, because did we give him a wee bit of stick, or did I give him a bit of stick last week for being animated with the supporters? Aye, but that's the way to do it. That's the way to reply. Just go and do your talking in the park, put the ball in the back of the net, and we'll back you. That's all about.
It was good to see young Robbie Fraser getting on as well, Charlie, wasn't it?
Yes, I said that the other week. I said there must be somebody we can bring in. It's good to see him getting on. As I said last week, me and Derek are lucky enough to come through the youth. So if they're good enough, get them in. I know it might be a wee bit hard for them now because we're struggling at certain parts, but if they've got in about them, they'll be fine and they'll go and play well for the team.
And you asked me to name a team. Was it a couple of games ago?
Aye, you mentioned.
He was in my team. Told you that. So the boy needs an opportunity. So he does.
And McCausland again gets a goal.
Nice goal.
As you said last week, Charlie was getting slated on Radio Clyde.
It's good to see the wee man. Works his arse off and maybe not the most technically gifted guy that beats 5-6 players, but he goes out there and puts a shift in for the team every week, and he does. He works his arse off, and it's nice to see the wee man getting another goal.
Brilliant attitude, innit? That wee fella ain't going to spit the dummy. He's Rangers through and through. He bleeds blue, isn't he? And I just love that he come on, because I think he is a decent wee player.
And it's not that. See, Stephen Davis isn't stupid. Stephen Davis obviously knows what he's like. See, it was him that gave him a chance. He brought him in, and obviously Steve Davis was a lovely football player, and he knows he'll know a good football player, and he brought the wee man in. So I trust wee Stevie there.
There's someone asking why Tav was stopped from going to Transipol. Can't even say that.
Trabzonspor.
Transipol.
There you go. Charlie, you take yours for him, would you?
That's that. He's still got that gobstopper on his gob.
So what's happened with that? Is that just fell apart?
Well, that's what he's saying. His wages alone would have freed up a few quid.
Mhm.
So and he
I don't
says-
know. What did you think of? What did you think of his performance on Saturday?
Honestly, didn't think he looked interested.
Aye, just at times he looks way off it,
Aye,
and then sometimes he just goes and produces a brilliant delivery, doesn't he? But aye, it's what you just says there, like his mind's not on it, innit? And
See-
it can't.
Sorry, Derek.
I know you go.
See, if I'm Tav though, I'm the one to go to Trabzonspor. If I'm leaving Rangers now at this age, because I think he's going to come back here and stay. I think they're happy here. I think if he's going to the end, he's got to go, bugger it, I'm going to Saudi Arabia, get myself £10 million there the next 3 years or whatever it is they're going to offer him. And that's where I would be going if I was him. But I wouldn't want to be going to Trabzonspor instead of Rangers. I don't see, obviously, better climate and things like that, but Not for me. I would rather go to Saudi, and that's him made for life.
But the worrying thing is, it looks like his best days are behind him. That's for sure. You can see the physicality against Kiev when the boy get 1v1 with him. My God, I was like curling up, man, because he was just getting away from him so easy. So you can just see that wee bit of pace, or the legs, they just go, and it looks that way at the minute. I hope it's just that he's catching up a wee bit fitness-wise, sharpness-wise. But I
think that's what it will be.
I hope so, Charlie.
I definitely don't think he's finished. Definitely not.
No, I'm not saying finished, but you know, when you're not quite, you know, what you were 2 years ago, it's clear to see, innit?
I think one of Tav or Goldson had to go, and Goldson went. And then, now, let Tav go on, mate, and then we've got the boy proper if he's going to get fit, and Suter there who can cover. And I'm sure Tav will do well for us this season.
Seeing that proper come off at the weekend as well.
I know. It was a real worry, and Big Suter was holding his calf as well. So he took I know you're kind of, what's it like? It's not real, innit? Because you go, oh, come on.
Coffee's over.
What was that?
Coffee's over.
By the way, I know. The Nicky Goffey. He's still kicking about 12 stone, isn't he? And he was
on the pitch.
The ultimate professional, isn't he? Richard Goff.
Anyway, the transfer window closes on August the 30th at 11:30. We really need to see the board kind of
11:30 in the morning.
11:30 p.m. 11:30 p.m.
We sit in front of that skyline. Come on,
wear yellow ties on.
Let's go, Ibrox, please.
The board really need to kind of support, so we can actually have a chance of winning the Scottish League. That's all I'm interested in now. I said that last week. Marvin actually said it as well. Let's win the Scottish League. Forget about Champions League.
We have to be successful in our own league to qualify and make the money. We're not ready for the Champions League, definitely no. We might even struggle in the Europa League this year, probably. But we need to make sure we've got a team on the pitch that is ready to challenge and win the league. That is the most important thing. No stadiums, no rebuilding stadiums in Edmondson House, nor that. Just get a winning team on the pitch. And I'm sure if we'd signed Shankland in January, Clement doesn't fancy him, I don't think, obviously. But if we signed him, I believe we would have won the league. And Shankland for 3 million or whatever it was going to be, maybe I've got his 3 years of goals or whatever, and would have been in the Champions League and would have made £40 million.
Can we sell that museum? Does anybody want to buy a museum for 10 million?
10 million.
10 million? Aye.
Charlie can buy it the night when he wins the lottery.
That's it.
The Euro.
Get a few bob in.
You'll not see me for dust.
Derek, what do you think about buying? Because just now we've not got many Scottish players on the team. Where years gone past with so many.
We don't get many fit players in the team.
But you know what I mean? Why don't we buy some of the best that's in the Scottish League now?
I've always been an advocate of that. I think we should be. I mean, there you go. You look last year. Who was the young players of the year? We've got one of them, Barron. You've got the boy Watson at Kilmarnock, who I think's a terrific player. Engine, of course, Lennon Miller, who's only 17.
But they're going to price out of these guys, don't they?
You've got the two that I've always liked, and I watched them. Well, one of them at Ayr United, that Celtic are looking at, Luke McCowan, terrific player.
Is that the guy at Dundee?
He's at Dundee. He was at Ayr United. Right. They bought him, Charlie. But I'd watched him at Ayr United, and he was a winger. But you could see that he'd enough about him that he could play in the middle of the park. He's a captain now. The young boy Cameron as well in the middle of that Dundee. All these good young Scottish players. I don't know why we went away from that, because it's always good to have that identity, that kind of that Scottish talent within the first team squad. And I think we've missed a trick over the last number of years. We start to look further afield.
Well,
Walter was brilliant at it when it's just sitting there right in front of you.
Walter done it with Davy Robertson, Stevie Wright.
Who's it Dundee United? The two go
Boland, Cleland, Big Dunk. I know these were all, but
Chris Boyd,
McInnes, and Brian Reid. Although Brian Reid done his cruciate in his second game, it was unfortunate for him. But we always used to sign the ones. The good ones are most of the good ones.
There's a William Henderson online saying, what's the point of having an academy if we don't use it? It does his head in. But I think the big problem, like you were saying there, is like once we get a decent player like Billy Gilmore, we can't compete.
See, touching on that academy, how have we not got this is a wee gripe that I have, and probably you probably be better than you'd be the one that you will answer this. Why have we not got a couple of young centre forwards a bit of physicality that you could throw in, no for the whole season, but you could throw them in for a game or two, which we need. That should we not have that in place? Because I don't know. You see the B team, playing, and we don't even seem to have that up top. Sometimes we should start to look and target and, acknowledge what kind of system and what type of player the manager wants. And to me, it looks like he wants a kind of players with a physicality. But we should be looking at that, because there must be 15, 16-year-olds out there with that kind of athleticism, with that power, with that strength, that sometimes just throw them in. That's how, I don't know what age were you, 17, 16 when you played in that first team?
17.
Aye. Sometimes just give them an opportunity, throw them in, not for the course of the season, but for a game or two, and sometimes it helps the rest of the players as well.
Right. Do you know, young Lowry's meant to be doing well, the B team now?
I saw the goals against Accies, but let's not get carried away. That was against Clyde. I know it was a decent game, by the way. Watched the highlights and that. But I think Alec has had a few opportunities and he's not took them. So, but his goals were terrific, not taking it away for the boy. But
Derek, as you know yourself, with Lowry, he's been a bit in and out or whatever. He needs a wee proper run in the team. See, just gaining him 1 45-minute against Birmingham, what is he meant to show in that? I know he didn't look great in the game and maybe people thought he wasn't interested, but you have to have a run. You have to have a wee run of games. And I would probably, and I like Lawrence, but I think Lawrence is struggling. And I'd probably just say to Lawrence, out you come, and you go, Lowry, let's see you for 5 or 6 games or something. I'm sure you can produce it. See how he does.
I don't think he'll do that, but do you know something? It's like, because I like him. You can tell he's a good player. And probably, do you know, maybe I'm a wee bit harsh because the boys went through a lot in the last year or two with losing his mum. So maybe, I don't know, maybe, because we're not in the building, we don't know how that affects. Some players can deal with that. Some don't deal with it too well. So maybe we're being a wee bit harsh. It's just that maybe Charlie's bang on the money. Maybe bring him in and say, right, you're in for 3-4 games you're going to play. Doesn't matter how what you do in the park, you're going to play in the next 3-4 games. By the way, that was a good call. So
obviously, we've heard in the past that his attitude's meant to stink on it, but maybe his time taken away for the first team. Maybe that's a weekend lesson for him.
Well, because when you're in the first team and you end up training with reserves and that, is horrible. Because you've been there, you want to stay there. But I don't know what he does in training or what he's like, as you say. It might be that, I don't know. But he's technically a very good football player and he should be training with that team and he should be on the bench at least with some of the players we've got out.
But it seems as if the manager at the minute after that Birmingham game, Charlie, he's went like, no, you've had your chance. That's what it feels like to me. That when there was your chance, you've not took it, poof, you're out of the equation. Maybe the manager, we can maybe look at that and think he's maybe a wee bit too quick to make a decision. Give them a wee bit more leeway, just what Charlie was saying.
Who would you like to see come to Rangers then, Charlie? Have you got anybody in mind that we can afford?
Mbappe or something like that. I just want us to sign some good players who can take us forward to move us on. I don't know what's out there, what we can afford, but we need better than we've got. And we definitely need another wide man. We need a striker and we need an attacking midfield player.
Aye. Did you see, was it the boy come on for Tottenham last night? Young boy, he was only about 18, 19 by the way, blonde heated boy.
Swedish or something?
Just in the middle of the park and he looked superb. So
I signed him for fortunes, did I?
Was it? Aye. So I don't know. It's just when you.
I think I signed him for Copenhagen. I think he came for the same team as Diamande.
Was it? Right, aye. Because you could tell right away. Because you're looking at him, you're going, he's a player, man.
Do you know, actually, I don't normally listen back to the podcast, but I listened back to last week's because Big Marvin was on.
But do you normally listen to me? No, just because Big Fella is
enough. Just because Marvin was on. But I thought he was brilliant. You go out with a big smile on your face, but I totally agree with him. See, when he's saying when you're playing at Ibrox, you should be starting with 2 at the top.
100%.
It's like we've lost that kind of cauldron effect at Ibrox now. It's even worse because we're at Hampden. You know.
Aye. You can play free at the back.
You've said that, no, haven't you?
Play free at the, I hate free at the back, but we can play because we're playing against one striker 90% of the time at Ibrox especially, or at Hampden now. But I think get 2 up top, get somebody else sitting in front of the back three, and then just go and play.
you know, I was thinking more about playing at Hampden, and obviously it's costing Rangers a fortune, but the fact that the fans are now coming out, they're not going to 23,000, that's going to affect, you know, but I don't blame the Rangers fans for not going, you know, but that's going to be a tough season.
Why? Because we sat at that game, that Motherwell game, and you have a wee look about you, and we know the Union Bears, they were getting it wildy, trying to get the rest of the stadium to sing along with them, but it just wasn't happening. It's not get that feeling.
Nah,
it's just no Ibrox. It's
That's
just
for semi-finals and finals, isn't it?
I know. It's like watching it the other night was like
it's a bit of pictures.
It's like watching through COVID again, so it was. Anyway,
so I don't go to pictures.
Ross County on Saturday. How do you line up with that, Charlotte?
Well, we may end up with 50,000 because they'll bring down about 25, won't they? We have to just go start brightly and then just get at them, and because they hurt us last season, so hopefully the players remember that when they beat us up there. So just to make sure we get them hiding.
Well, they're coming off a shocker, obviously. So there'll be they're coming off a shocker. So I'm saying, let's say that again. Obviously against Spartans. So listen, they're going to come and sit in. And we're going to have to break them down. So we're going to have that quality, have that patience and all. But I think once we get the first goal, we can obviously take 2 or 3 or a wee bit more. And we need it because the next one is a big one. So we need to go into this game with a bit of confidence. So it was a decent performance on Saturday. We've won it. That's all and it's a cup game. That's all you ask. So we just need a wee bit a confidence booster as well. But it's not going to be pretty. This is the thing for the punters. They're going to see a team that will just sit in and make it hard for us.
Charlie, seen your day, like, say, for instance, Old Firm games next week. You know you're starting this week. You must try your heart out.
Because you want to play the following week, don't you? You should try your heart out every game. You want to just play. You want to play every week. And as I said, my win bonus was more than my wage. So I wanted to bloody play every week. Wanted to win. So
there's an edge to it, because even though this Ross County game's coming up, I don't know, I'm only speaking for my experience, mine, but I thought about it, couldn't get it out of my head. So you knew it was coming up, so you wanted to play well, and then you wanted to just get it out of the way and look forward to playing Celtic.
Score predictions brought to you by Avia Signs.
So that's a new
Very
segment
impressive,
of the show.
Ricky.
Do you like that? So score predictions.
A bit too quick.
Sponsored by Avia Signs. No, I actually went on it by mistake. I'm going to start just for a wee change. I'm going to say 3-0 Rangers. So.
Oh, that's what I was going with. So I was. It's all about getting the first goal. So we can get that. If we score the first goal, it could be 3 or 4. I don't know. I'll go. I'm going to go 3-0.
I'll go 2-1.
Oh, what? You got? I'm not even like what? Do you think they'll score?
We've not looked best defensively at the moment, have we? So
I don't know who's starting defence as well. If Popper's injured as well.
I know. When I just look at Charlie and I see him saying that 2-1, so we need something. We need a good performance. We need.
You always score against us.
I know. I don't say that.
We just
take him. Because we know we're going there with no fans. So Charlie broke the news last week, didn't he? About no fans at Parkhead for the game. So which is it's ridiculous, isn't it? But because this is going to be massive.
I'm afraid that's the end of the show already.
Right, you get working on the t-shirts.
I'll get working on these t-shirts, but thank you to everybody that's joined us. We've actually got quite a few hundred live already, which is amazing.
Might have somebody coming on
guys.
next week.
Oh, that's right.
We've definitely got somebody coming on.
Oh, we've got a special guest coming on next week. You allowed to say, Charlie?
Aye. Craig Moore.
Brilliant.
So big Craig Moore's coming on next week.
A few people about, wouldn't he?
He would
put it about. Good. That's what we need.
That guy ball in his face.
How's his fitness?
He could probably still play, can't he? Anyway, that's the end of the show, but thank you so much. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and hit the notification button and subscribe so that you get every single podcast. We'll be back next Tuesday, and as Challan said, big Craig Moore will be here with us. Take care. See you later.
Cheers, guys.
Brought to you by our sponsors, the JR Group, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Reflex Blue, The Right Software, Dev Provider, and Avia Signs. Our chosen charity partner is the Second Chance Project. We are now official agents for the Rangers Lotto. Find out more at www.allaboutthegers.co.uk.